So Saitama's fighting against God, and he punches a hole in the universe, and the fabric of space-time starts to come undone, and all of the timelines and multiverses start converging. No, I'm just kidding, that doesn't happen. Sorry, I had to strategically lie to you to get you excited so that you actually wanna, watch this video and go over my review for the latest chapter of One Punch Man. Because, that doesn't happen. Saitama doesn't fight God in this chapter, surprisingly. We're actually still continuing the second retcons for the Ninja Village arc, which means that for the third time, we are going over Sonic and Flashy Flash versus the Tenito, or the Heavenly Ninja Party, whatever their freaking names are. Which I'm sure you're more excited about, right? Everybody's really excited to talk about this chapter and read it and go over all this stuff, right? But Saitama actually does do something in this chapter, I swear, and it's, I guess, pretty interesting. And I'll go into what I think it's going to lead to, what it might lead to, but also, like I did in my previous video, I'll go over the previous 2 iterations of this sequence. Let me first go over what happens in the current chapter. So, coming off of the previous one, Sonic and Flashy Flash fought each other, and it ended with Flashy Flash kicking Sonic, and that was like the end of the fight. It was like, oh, is Sonic, what happened to him? He obviously survives. But after that happened, the Heavenly Ninja Party, the Tenito, come in and they throw all their swords down on the ground in an attempt to kill Flashy Flash. And they're all upset. Like the people in this comment section, and they're like, hey, what the heck? We asked Sonic to lure you to the abandoned warehouse area that he lives at, but that's not where this is. Did he betray us? Oh, he betrayed us. We're upset. Now we're still gonna kill you anyway. Because, that's what they wanted. They originally made their proposal to Sonic to lure out Flashy Flash to execute him and kill Blast as well, because that's what Empty Void wants. And I guess they're mad at Flashy Flash because, he killed everybody in the Ninja Village, but it's like they were gonna kill everybody anyway. It was all just a ploy to use the cube to make God disciples. There was only a handful of people who could have, I don't even know how these guys graduated. Because technically they would have had to pass the cube test. And clearly they wouldn't have, because they're all A-class level dudes, I'm assuming. They're definitely not S-class. Also, speaking of these guys, one of them has guns. He just has 2 pistols. That's not very ninja-ly. I mean, it's really funny, and I hope that's what the purpose of this is. I hope One actually wrote this sequence, because I know it's up for debate. Is One still writing the One Punch Man manga, or did he just let Murata take over? I hope that's not the case. And I know a lot of the casual viewers think that Murata writes One Punch Man manga. Don't even give credit to One, who is probably the best battle manga writer ever, maybe. Also, if you're tired of the retcons, check out One's newer manga by the name of Versus. It is incredible. It's definitely my favorite series that I am reading right now, and I'm gonna start doing chapter reviews of it this month when the new chapter comes out, or at least when it's translated. I don't know when that is, maybe the 25th or the 26th or the 27th, somewhere around that time. But yeah, just look out for my video later this month that is centered around the new Versus chapter. It is amazing. I love this series. Can't wait for the new chapter. But anyway, Sonic shows up and he's like, oh, hey, big surprise. I survived the flashy kicks. They're like, oh, hey, you betrayed us. Now we're gonna kill you. And then Flash and Sonic are like, all right, well, we're gonna team up because we're vastly more powerful than you guys are. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. Because Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. Skillshare can help you take your career, skill, hobbies, passions, or side hustles to the next level. So lately, I've been trying to work on my creativity because Skillshare showed me that I should be thinking of it more of the way that I think of my health and wellness. And being a content creator, it's important that I grow in that aspect. So I took Esteban Gost's class, Creativity in Action, 10 challenges to make ideas happen. In this class, Esteban has 10 challenges that are designed to make you laugh and get inspired. And going through each of them has really helped me think differently, spark new connections, and bring my fresh ideas into reality. such as having like no expectations and brainstorming my worst ideas, creating unexpected connections, and building creative systems for myself to build positive habits. So guys, if you're looking to upgrade your own creativity or any other skill by using Skillshare, check the link in the description, because the first 500 people to use my link will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today. Thanks, guys. Then we see Saitama. This is the only time we see him in the chapter, and he has the letter that Sonic had sent him, or at least one of them. And he used this to figure out where Sonic is located. And once he gets to the abandoned area with the warehouse where Sonic's living, he's like, oh, no one's around. He must be really lonely. Do you actually live here? Something like that. I don't know. I'm going off of Google Translate. But he's going to say something along those lines, which is understandable because before he assumed that Sonic was lonely. And he didn't want Sonic to be manipulated by the Heavenly Ninja Party and wind up like Hammerhead did with the Paradisers. Like he directly paralleled him to them. Because in his own weird, nonchalant way, Saitama, cares about Sonic. But also wants him to leave him alone. And I guess that's what he's ultimately trying to do here. Both convince Sonic to not become an evil ninja cult member, and also to give up chasing the dragon of Saitama and leave him alone. Kind of. Something like that. But this is pretty cool because this kind of happens in the webcomic, more or less. At least Saitama's showing up to this abandoned area where Sonic lives, because this is where they expected Sonic to lead Flashy Flash to. And in the webcomic version, Empty Void shows up here, and he confronts Saitama instead of Flashy Flash and Sonic, and Saitama one-taps him, which is really funny. Also, after he one-taps him, he takes out his arsenal, and we see that Empty Void also had a gun. So maybe it is Ninja Lee. Maybe that's where this double pistol guy learned his pistol gun kata from. Maybe it was Empty Void this whole time. But anyway, the Heavenly Ninja Party throw out Hellfire and Gale here as I don't know, a diversion tactic against Flashy Flash and Sonic, and they almost get cut up by this wire, but then Flashy Flash winds up saving them, I think. This is important because Hellfire and Gale are going to be key components in helping the research of trying to revert people who have become monsters back into becoming humans. Because they had eaten monster cells and become, monsters. We all remember that classic little storyline from the Monster Association arc. This is actually going to play out in Season 3. That's going to be released in October. Check out my video at the end of this video. But they were killed by Flashy Flash. And then later on in Child Emperor versus Phoenix Man, they were revived by Phoenix Man and became like zombies. But then Child Emperor hit his Gigavolt Smash from Brave Giant and revived them back into humans. And I guess that undid the monsterization? I don't know. Because if they could become monsters, they would do it, right? They would be so much stronger than the Heavenly Ninja Party here, who is bullying them. But I guess they're weaklings now? I don't know. But anyway, the Heavenly Ninja Party starts attacking Flashy Flash and Sonic, but they're no match for them, and they wind up getting kicked in the face. And that's where the chapter ends. So, real quick, let's go over what happened in the previous 2 sequences. So, it's kind of the same. Except more stuff happens, this big guy throws rocks and they jump through the rocks and they fight them and they kick them and they wind up just kicking their butts. And eventually Empty Void shows up and then sucks their guts out and then gets stronger from that. But then in the newer version, Flashy Flash and Sonic just kill most of these guys, behead them and disembowel them. It's pretty graphic. One of the most graphic sequences in the series for sure. But then at the end of both of the Tanito fights, it leads to the entrance of Empty Void. So I don't know if that's going to happen now because like I said, it seems like he's going to run into Saitama and get one-tapped again, which would be hilarious because it's just going to completely erase any kind of story that he had going forward, because we eventually got to this whole big backstory with him and Blast being bros, but then it turned out that he was actually trying to manipulate Blast by letting him copulate with his sister and start a family, and it eventually led to him getting manipulated by the God Cube and becoming the disciple of God. But then it was like, yeah, my whole plan was actually to use his power against God to create an army, which doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to keep rambling on. Hopefully the next chapter is more interesting. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, have a great day. Let me know in the comments how upset you are. See you in the next one.